Good day, class. My name is Mrs. Adekoya and I'm your Civic Education teacher. The last class we had, I gave you some topics we will be treating in the course of this revision exercise. The second topic is what we'll be treating today, and it is cultism. Before we go, let's look at the set objectives. At the end of this class, students should be able to answer the following questions. The aim we have is to make sure questions that will likely come out during your WAEC or your NECO on the topic cultism, you'll be able to answer them. And so the first objective here is define cultism. The second objective is state reasons why students join cults. The third one here says explain consequences of cultism. Number 4, highlight preventive measures against cultism. 5, state factors hindering the eradication of cultism in Nigerian schools. And the last one here says state government policies on cultism. So at the end of this lesson, you all should be able to answer all these questions that I have written out. Now let's look at the first question here. It says definition of cultism. Definition of cultism. Before we go on, I hope you have your pen and you have your notebooks. Now let's look at the first definition here. Cultism is defined as a ritual practice by a group of people whose membership, admission, policies, and initiation formalities, as well as their mode of operation, are done in secret and kept secret. The second definition here says cultism can also be defined as an antisocial or defiant group of people whose activities contravene the norms of any society. Their activities are usually carried out at odd hours of the day. Now, in the course of defining cultism, there are what we call key points. First of all, when you are defining, you must make sure you use the word secret, because that is what differentiates cultism from other groups. Secret must be there. And then you also look at initiation. It's a ritual practice. The key words here are ritual practice, initiation, and their operations are done in a secret. Then the second definition here, you can see the activities are usually carried out at odd hours, most times in the night. They usually carry out the activities in the dead of the night. So that is what differentiates cultism from other groups. So that is the definition of cultism. There are so many, but I just gave you this two. Now question 2 here says reasons why students join cult. Reasons why students join cult. Most times WAEC will just tell you to list them out, but you can go ahead and explain maybe 1 or 2 line sentences. The first one here says popularity. Popularity. Some students join cult because they want to be popular in schools. They want every person to notice them. The second one says ignorance. There are some people that join not knowing what they are joining or the reason why they are there. Then the third one here says negative peer pressure. Show me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. There are some people who have been lured into cultism, from peer pressure from their friends who are also cultists. Number 4 here says fear and timidity. In brackets, protection. There are people who have joined cult because they need what? Protection. There are some students, when they come to university, they are being intimidated by others. So you see them being compelled to join cult groups because they want to be protected. Number 5 here says family background. There are people whose parents or whose fathers were in cult, whose elder brothers are cultists, and so you see them ending up also becoming a cultist. Family background. The next one here says to pass the examination. There are some students who are dullards And so they feel that the way they can pass examination is to join a cult group, because most cult groups intimidate lecturers to give them marks. And so that's why some students join cults. The next one here says get rich quick syndrome. You know, there are some cult groups that do initiation, that make sacrifices. They want to get rich. Then the next one here says to avoid intimidation. Number 9 says frustration challenges. There are some students that get to the university and face one frustration or one challenge or the other, and then they feel to come out of these problems is by joining a cult. Then the next one here says injustice. There are some students who feel maybe lecturers have cheated them, or some students have cheated them, and they want to find justice. So they go and join these groups, because these groups make them believe that if you are their member, they can help you get justice. Then low self-esteem or inferiority complex. There are some students in campus, in schools, who feel inferior, and so they join these cults to grow their self-esteem. They join these cults because they have inferiority complex. Then curiosity. There are some people that join just curious to know what cultism is all about. Then the next one here, which I believe parents should note, is watching crime-related films or videos. There are children who from young age start watching videos or films that are crime-related, a lot of shooting, killing, and so when they grow, you know, they are endeared to cultism because they have been watching it from when they were quite young. That is why parents, we should watch out for the kind of films our children have access to. Then seeking for position, respect, authority, deception, and crime. So these are among the reasons why students join cult. The next question here says consequences of cultism. 1. Loss of focus by members. Yes, when you're a member of a cult, you lose focus of why you are in school. The next one says expulsion from school. Yes, every university, every secondary school have their laws that any student who is caught in cult-related activities will be expelled. So that's another consequence. Violence. We know, we all hear about cult-related killings in universities, in secondary schools, violence when this cult is fighting the other cult. So those are the consequences. Untimely death. Many students have lost their lives. Many people have lost their lives due to cultism. Then drug abuse and sexual harassment, loss of peace, loss of self-will and the right of choice. Yes, when you're a cultist, you no longer have self-will. It is the cult leader who makes decisions. And so as a cultist, you gradually lose your right to make your own choice. And then number 8 here says they most times involve themselves in examination malpractice because of their poor academic performance. You know, when they are cultists, they keep going from one university to another to fight cult wars, and so they miss their lectures. And so most times they involve themselves in examination malpractice. Question 4 here says preventive measures against cultism. How can we prevent it? That's what we want to look at here. Number 1, making and enforcing laws against cultism. We should not just make laws, but we should enforce these laws. Number 2, counseling of students. When students, we should have our guidance and counseling units in every secondary school, in every university. Their duty is to counsel students and let them know the consequences of cultism. The next one here says religious and moral upbringing of children. Religious and moral upbringing of children. The church have its own role to play. Parents also have their own role to play. Teaching of civic education in schools. That's what we are doing now. So through the teaching of civic education, students will be able to know that cultism does not blow any good wind. Then the next one says public awareness campaign against cultism. Then parents, guardians should pay close attention to their children and words. Know who are the friends of your children. Know where your children are going to at all times. When your children go out and come back, check their body, because when they go for initiation, they are given marks on their bodies. You check their bodies, you notice them. There are sometimes your child starts behaving abnormally, then you should know that something is wrong somewhere. So we should pay close attention. We should be our children's best friends. Then severe punishment for cultists when they are caught. It should not just be lip service. When they are caught, they should be severely punished. Then students should learn to obey laws. Every school has its law and regulations. Students should be law abiding. Then students should be diligent in their studies. Remember, we said one of the reasons for joining cultism is when a child is not intelligent, poor academic performance. But when you are diligent in your studies, you are studious, you will not have any reason to join a cult. Then have faith in God. Believe in God. If you have faith in the God you serve, whether you're a Muslim or you are a Christian, if you have faith in the God you serve, you will not join cultism. Question 5 here says factors hindering the eradication of cultism in schools. What are those things that hinder it? The government have been trying, school authorities have been trying to stamp out cultism, but there are factors that have been hindering it, which we will look at here now. Number 1 says involvement of children or words of influential parents, guardians in cult activities. There are some children of influential people in society, governors, senators, House of Assembly members, whose children or wards are cultists. And so when they are caught, they try to hide it. And so that is one of the factors that is hindering eradication of cultism in school. Then involvement of teachers and lecturers in cult activities. Yes, it's true. There are lecturers in universities who are members of cult groups, who are their patrons. And so you can imagine, how will the school fight it when the authorities themselves are members? The next one says admission of expelled students due to cult-related activities in other schools and colleges. When a student is expelled from this school, he is given admission in another school. What does he do? He goes and continues the cult activities in the new school. Non-implementation of punishment sanctions designed for cultists. Then intimidation of school authorities by cultists. Strong commitment to oath of membership by cultists. Yes, when these cultists join, they take oaths. And so there are some of these members that are committed to that oath. And so it's a problem. Then involvement of parents in cult activities. Yes, as I said earlier when we talked about family background, there are parents who are cultists. And so they initiate their children. And so it's difficult to eradicate it when it's like, it's moving from one generation to another. Then bad government and irresponsible school leadership can also be a hindrance. Then weak government agencies. Yes, when the police is weak, to fight it, then there's a problem. When the judiciary is weak to fight cultism, then it is a factor, it's a hindrance to the eradication of cultism in schools. Then we have corruption and injustice. Corruption and injustice. The next question here says government policies on cultism. Yes, what are those government policies? What are the policies government have made or said about cultism? We'll look at it here. The first one says enacting enabling laws proscribing cultism and other secret societies. So one policy government can do is to enact laws that will proscribe cultism. So when they enact a law and cultism is proscribed, anyone who is caught in the act will be severely dealt with. Then the second one here says newly admitted students are made to take oath not to belong to any secret societies. Yes, when students are newly admitted, whether in JS1, whether in the year 1 university, they should be made to sign an oath that they will not belong to any secret society. The third one here says expulsion of any student found to be a member of secret corps from the campus. The another one here, another policy government can make is prosecution and sentencing to jail those found guilty of any court-related activities. Yes, those who are found guilty should be prosecuted and sentenced. It will serve as a deterrent to others. Then say constitutional provisions prohibiting members of secret societies from holding public offices. Yes, there are some highly placed individuals in the society today who were members of secret cults in their university days. Today, some of them are governors, some of them are House of Assembly members, House of National Assembly members. So there should be a law that anyone who was caught and sentenced to jail for being a cultist should not in any way hold any public office, whether elected or appointed. Then the next one says government enhance security presence in schools and colleges. Yes, government should make sure they have enhanced security presence in schools, and this will help in a way to put a stop to cultism in our schools. Then they say public renunciation of members of secret societies should be encouraged by government. Yes, when somebody is caught, he should openly come out before every person and renounce cultism. That is another policy government should put in place. Now, in summary, we say cultism is a negative vice. In summary, cultism is a negative vice that has caused more harm than good. It is very easy to join, but very, very difficult to leave. Yes, when you come to campus, you easily join, but to leave it is always a Herculean task. In our society today, most crimes committed can be linked to cultism. Crimes like armed robbery, rape, kidnapping, bullying, etc. Yes, if we check out those people who are committing crimes today, is what they are, what cultists. Rape, especially rape, this issue of rape, if the government investigates deeply, you will find that they are cultists. Armed robbery, kidnapping, those are the crimes, and they are in the increase because cultism is in the increase. So let's unite and stamp out cultism from our schools and society at large. So there's an assignment here. You can do it and then send it to the school email. Number 1, define cultism. And the second assignment here says write a short essay on the history of cultism in Nigeria. And so these are questions that are likely to come out under cultism. The first topic we dealt with was HIV and AIDS. I listed out some questions and I answered them. And this one is cultism. When we have our next class, we'll be looking at nationalism, world and civic and local civic problems. That's the next topic we'll be looking at. So, as I've said before, please stay safe. Always use a nose mask if you have to go out. Wash your hands under running water with soap for at least 20 seconds. And use your hand sanitizer if water is not readily available.